What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So since we last spoke, there's been a lot going on in my life. I've been on a few trips, I moved to Montreal, I got this new place, and I've been working very hard every day on my website, princeoftravel.com, to help my fellow Canadians travel the world in spectacular fashion, just like I do. So the good news is, here on my YouTube channel, I've finished making my 8 videos, which I'd consider to be the intro series to somebody who's brand new at traveling on points. The idea here is, if you're starting from scratch, you can watch these 8 videos and get a very high-level understanding of what we do in this community and how we're able to fund our lavish trips around the world using credit card points and loyalty programs. And now that the intro series is over, I'm very excited to be focusing on making many more videos for the rest of the year. One of the things I love about traveling on points is just how many topics there are to dissect and talk about in this space. How many nitty-gritty different topics out there for us to get into. So we'll be doing a lot more of these videos with the goal of bringing you directly into my world as somebody who lives and breathes this stuff, travel, points, credit cards, all that good stuff every single day. So today I wanted to kick things off with a video on what I consider to be the best way to easily rack up an enormous amount of points in a short span of time here in Canada. And that's what I call the American Express credit card flowchart. This guy right here. This is the American Express credit card flowchart. You can also access it on my website, princeoftravel.com. I've included a link below to the most up-to-date version of the flowchart. Now, the reason this flowchart exists is because American Express is unique among the major credit card issuers in offering a refer a friend program for its most popular credit cards. And so not only do you earn points as a sign-up bonus when opening the card, but you also get referral points when you refer a family member or friend to open a card through your link. Now, over the years, they've implemented a very complex series of rules as to which cards can be used to refer to which other cards. So the goal of this flowchart is to lay it all out for you and show you the optimal path of getting what I'd consider to be the most important 7 American Express cards, the optimal order of doing things. The idea here is, if you just jumped into applying for cards without figuring out the right order of doing things, you might be leaving bonuses on the table. And so you've got to understand the optimal strategy beforehand. So without further ado then, let's jump right into the flowchart. These 7 American Express cards are grouped into different families, and only cards within the same family can refer to and from each other, okay? So we'll begin with the business cards, which is right here at the very top. This is its own family of cards, the business cards, and these cards have by far the most powerful sign-up bonuses for you to obtain among the major American Express credit cards. There's the Business Platinum card and the Business Gold card, and what you're supposed to do here is to apply for the Business Platinum card first through a referral link and meet the minimum spending requirement, earn the points, and then use your own referral link to then apply for the Business Gold card. And that way you get the bonus on that card as well, in addition to that sweet referral bonus of 25,000 membership rewards points. Since we're talking about business cards, people are often like, well, what if I don't have a business? The reality is that these cards are geared towards business owners, but nothing explicitly states that you must have a business in order to be eligible. So what most people do who don't have a small business in the traditional sense is they just apply under their own name as the business name. They're basically declaring themselves as a sole proprietorship, which is simply a way of doing business under your own name. So anyway, back to the flowchart. The important thing to note here is to get the Business Platinum card first before using the referral link to get the Business Gold card, because that's what gives you this sweet, sweet bonus of 25,000 MR points. The referral bonus on the Business Gold card is much lower. So if you started with the Business Gold and then referred yourself to the Business Platinum, that would only be 5,000 points instead of 25,000. So you'd be leaving a significant chunk of points on the table if you did this in the wrong order. Now, you might also be asking, when I go from the Business Platinum to the Business Gold, am I allowed to use my own referral link when I'm applying for a different card? And the answer is technically no, but in practice, pretty much, yeah. That's because the referral link is just a link that you generate from your Amex dashboard, and then anyone can use it to apply. So you just open the link in a new tab, scroll down to choose the business gold instead of the business platinum, and you go from there. It's one of those situations where if the referral bonus doesn't show up, then you don't really have any recourse because technically you're not supposed to refer yourself. But in practice, it shows up like 99.9% of the time, so you're fine. The last thing I will say about this family of cards is that it may be wise to leave at least 90 days in between applying for the business platinum and the business gold, because sometimes when you apply within 90 days, the two applications get treated as duplicates, and then it ends up being automatically declined. So that's something to keep in mind. Space out these two applications at least 90 days apart for best results. Now, the next family of cards on the flowchart is just the American Express Platinum card on its own. So if this were a family, it would be a particularly lonely one. Basically, you can't refer from the Platinum card to any other card, so there's no real referral pathway here. You just apply for the Platinum card whenever you want it, and you get the sign-up bonus of 60,000 MR points for a net annual fee of $499. How that net annual fee works is basically that the advertised annual fee is actually $699, but the card also comes with a $200 travel credit per membership year, which can basically be cashed out to offset against the annual fee. And that's perhaps a topic that we might cover in a future video. But yeah, once you have the Platinum card, you can only refer to other Platinum cards, not to any of the other American Express cards. So this part of the flowchart is pretty much as straightforward as it gets. Continuing down the flowchart, we've got the American Express Gold Rewards card and the American Express Cobalt card. Now, both of these cards are entry-level personal cards. The Gold is kind of the first card that everybody gets within American Express, and the Cobalt is kind of a special card with increased earning power on groceries and dining, although the points you earn on a Cobalt card are less powerful than the rest of the membership rewards cards because you can't transfer them to airlines. You can only transfer them to hotels and use them within the Amex in-house program. So what's the optimal way to crush these bonuses? Well, the Gold card is the one that gives you an additional benefit when you apply through a referral link. The public offer is just 25,000 MR points for an $150 annual fee, but by going through a referral link, you also get an extra 5,000 MR points when you add a free supplementary card at the time of application. And that gives you a total of 30,000 points for a $150 annual fee. Now, from the Gold Rewards card, you can refer yourself to the Cobalt card and get a referral bonus of 5,000 MR points there as well. And when you open the Cobalt card, the bonus you get on that card is a total of 30,000 Membership Rewards Select points, which is the special type of points that can't be transferred to airlines, distributed monthly over the first year of your membership. There are actually a few more ways of doing these cards if you're part of certain membership organizations in Canada. So if you're a CPA, if you're an accountant, then there's a special CPA offer code for the Gold Rewards card that actually gives you a first-year annual fee waiver. And if you're a member of Percopolis, which is like a rewards organization for workplaces, then you get a slightly more favorable offer on the Cobalt card as well. And I've got a tiny little footnote down here to indicate that. Finally, we've got the personal and business Marriott Bonvoy cards, which are associated with the Marriott Bonvoy Hotel Loyalty Program. These cards both offer 51,000 Bonvoy points when you apply through a referral link, which can be used for between 1 and 12 nights at a Marriott hotel, depending on the hotel. You know, if you're going to New York, it's probably going to be good for 1 night. If you're going to rural Alberta, enjoy your 12 nights there. So the optimal pathway here doesn't really matter since the offers are basically the same. I like to start with the personal Bonvoy card. Through a referral link, you can get the 51,000 points and then self-refer to the business Bonvoy card where you'll get another 51,000 points plus the 10,000 points for making the referral. The annual fees on these cards are $120 and $150 respectively, although you should pretty easily recoup that value with the points that you're getting. The other thing to note here is that these cards previously had some pretty great cashback offers on greatcanadianrebates.com, although recently they've been much lower and much more inconsistent. The offers seem to be coming and going a lot recently, so I've left them out of the discussion for now, but you should nonetheless check Great Canadian Rebates just before you apply to see if any of their cashback offers might pique your interest. So we've covered our 7 major American Express credit cards. Let's add them all up, right? Let's add up the sign-up bonuses, all the annual fees, all the minimum spending requirements, and don't forget all the points you earn as a result of meeting these minimum spending requirements. Like, you gotta spend $7,000 on the Business Platinum card to earn the bonus, and since the Business Platinum gives 1.25x on all purchases, then you still end up with an extra 8,000 points from meeting that minimum spending. So adding it all up, we arrive at a total earnings, let's see here, of 256,500 membership rewards points, 36,000 membership rewards select points from the Cobalt card, as well as 124,000 Marriott Bonvoy points. You will have paid in total $1,788 in annual fees, and you will have made a $30,500 minimum spending in total. These are some pretty intimidating numbers at first, so let's walk through whether or not it's worthwhile for you to make your way through this flowchart and get all these cards. $1,788 in annual fees. That could be a decent budget for a 1-week vacation with a cheap flight somewhere, maybe some cheap accommodations, and maybe spending like $50 a day on food, activities, and attractions. Like, you'd imagine that kind of trip would be pretty fun, not really luxurious in any way, but still pretty rewarding if you're going somewhere that you wanted to go. Now instead, if you were to go through with the flowchart, you would pay that same amount of money in annual fees, but now you've got over 400,000 rewards points to play with, and you could easily treat yourself to a multi-destination trip around the world in business class or first class, staying at fancy hotels using your Bonvoy points for the same amount of money. You might still travel for a week, but the difference in quality of your trip is really quite staggering, and that's where the value lies in collecting these sign-up bonuses. Of course, the other obstacle here is that $30,500 minimum spending requirement, which, you know, for some of you might be no big deal, for others might be a little bit of an inconvenience, to say the least. The good news is that, you know, if you want it badly enough, there's always tips and tricks for meeting the minimum spending requirement and unlocking the bonuses. I've mentioned a few of these in my previous videos, and I've hinted at a few others, so go back and take a look. Some of them are a little more creative than others. So anyway, that's basically the American Express credit card flowchart in a nutshell. By following through on this step-by-step plan, you can pretty much earn a spectacular balance of points and start funding your next big trip in about 3 to 6 months' time, because you can really run through all 4 families of cards simultaneously, as long as your credit score is good enough to handle all the credit card applications and the new accounts. The story doesn't quite end there either. In addition to this flowchart, I've also made a 2-player version of the flowchart, which you can check out on my website, princeoftravel.com. Basically, if you and your spouse or your partner are both interested in getting the cards, then this 2-player flowchart kind of generalizes the lessons we learned in this video to share with you the optimal strategies of getting these 7 credit cards for the both of you and maximizing the referral bonuses you get from referring each other to the cards. So make sure to take a look at that one. Once you start scaling up these earnings beyond multiple people, that's when you end up really unlocking unbelievable bonuses and the luxurious trips start to become very much within reach. Finally, it's important to note that the credit card offers are constantly changing. The good deals are always coming and going, and so the optimal strategy today will be very different from the optimal strategy 6 months or 1 year from now. And so in order to stay up to date on all the best deals, make sure you join my newsletter or my Facebook group in the description below, where I'll keep you up to date. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video and that you're fully caught up on the best way of racking up the points here in Canada. I'm going to be making many more videos in the future, so make sure you're subscribed to my channel so that you don't miss those videos. Just click the subscribe button below the video. For now though, I've given you the complete blueprint to go forth and conquer all these bonuses from American Express. So what are you waiting for? Leave any questions you might have for me in the comments below, and I'll see you next time between these 2 credit card applications. Stop focusing on me. Focus on the people.